quick because I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. Let's talk about Senator United States Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right. Now, she made a fool of herself. And you know what I realized? This is what's going on. Like, I think they're panicking because the situation with her was pretty clear. But I think she thinks that it's just the Democrats that are asking these questions. The reporter wanted to know about the signal, about the, not the signal, but like them using the app to have high level talks. The same people that wanted to know about Hillary Clinton's emails are the same people that want to know, why are you using this app for just talking high level talks? You know what I mean? It's just like, those are the same people. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then like, if you look at how nasty and like how ghetto she is, I feel like they're doing enough damage on their own selves. Because here's what you gotta like look at, right? The way she answered that question from the reporter by deflecting, she's pretty much calling her supporters like low IQ, because you would have to be slow, or like because you want to know the answer too. Like, your own supporters want to know why high level talks are happening willy-nilly. You understand? So when you deflect, you're not just not answering questions from some UK reporter or questions from some Democrat. Like, the entire country wants to know what your stance is. And so you can only deflect for so long before people actually want answers. And usually it's great to deflect to positive things. Like, if the economy was doing good, you could deflect to that. You know what I mean? Like, if crime is going down, if the crisis is homes are being, if people are able to buy homes and do things like that, that'd be easy for you to deflect to. But if you don't have anything really, really going for yourself, you know what I mean? Like, every headline on the news is how you guys are overstepping or having, just doing dumb stuff. When you can't deflect to the positive things, then you get upset. You know what I mean? You start calling names. Think about people that you argue with. Like, y'all know when you were younger, when you had bullies in your school, at least with me, I tried to beat a bully with logic. You know what I mean? They try to beat you with their actual hands and name calling, and you just get mad when you don't have facts. When somebody's hitting you with facts and you have nothing to refute that, all you can do is either accept it and move accordingly, or plant yourself even firmer inside of your own delusions. You understand? So that's exactly what Greene did. But to be honest with you, she made that. I'm happy she did that, because if you really watch that interaction. Oh no, I'm not taking requests right now. Is somebody here? Okay. If you watch that interaction, how do I block that? If you watch that interaction, like, it would leave a nasty taste in anybody's mouth. You understand? Because you did something clearly wrong. At this point, people want to see their leaders take accountability because it makes them feel more secure. You understand? It's just like you want the rah-rah during the campaign. I could understand that. You know what I mean? Because you got to get the people, you got to galvanize the people, you got to get the momentum going. So you might need to be a little bulldogish. But once you're in power, I promise you, with every fiber of my being, they will reject the rah-rah now, because now they want stability. You understand? It's like, okay, yeah, we had the rah-rah, but now we want stability. Are egg prices down? Are food prices down? Is housing getting better? When you can't answer questions like that, bro, you're not talking to just Democrats. You're talking to everybody at this point. Everybody eats. Everybody has a place everybody needs a place to live. You understand? So, and national security too is very important. You know what I mean? So it's just like, in terms of like what's going on with her specifically. So it's just like, you deflect, and that's what Marco Rubio did yesterday as well. And I'm on his head. I'm on his head on that. And that's what I think, because here's the thing: if you accept it, you accept the fact that they're playing with you. You understand? Or you accept the fact that you wanna you like you're just looking the other way from a blatant like yo they're peeing on you while they're telling you it's raining. You understand? Marco Rubio yesterday was asked a specific question, just like this lady was. You know what I mean? You notice that? Here's one thing I notice about this administration. You know what I mean? When they ask something specific that will disturb anything, they get upset. That's what happened with Zelensky. If you really pay attention what happened with Zelensky during that meeting when it was like a whole blowout, Zelensky was actually making decent points. That's the problem. And instead of looking weak or looking bad, or as real leaders would do, taking ownership and moving forward in accountability or whatever, they decide to do the total opposite. And I think they think it's working, but it's not. It's definitely not. When you act like this, it rubs everybody the wrong way because nobody likes a bully. Not even your people like bullies. You got to think about it, right? Think about this. Like me, for instance, I'm a perfect example, right? What rubbed me, what made me like not look at Democrats the same was the COVID stuff and the censoring, like social media stuff like that. So that's what made me be like, yo, I can't look at y'all the same. You know what I mean? Things are different now. So what do you think someone who's watching somebody lock somebody, like watching a government who's locking people up, sending them away who have valid reasons to be in this country, what do you think somebody like me's thinking? Because if you like, you kind of gotta weigh things out. Like, not like what's worse, it's all bad. But it's just like, if you think I ain't going for no censorship on social media, what makes you think I'm going to go for some authoritarian, we locking people up for freedom of speech? Like, I don't care what they're saying. You understand? I grew up in the era of, like, we learned about the KKK. You know what I mean? I remember asking questions when I was younger, like, how can they march? How can they preach this hatred? And people said, yo, it's America. And I accepted that. So how can somebody like me, who's accepted the KKK having the right of freedom of speech, how would you expect me to turn my back on anything else? You know what I mean? Like, it can't get no worse than that. So some Palestinian chick talking about how she wants her people, she's not Palestinian, she's Turkish, but you know what I mean? Some Muslim chick talking about how she wants her people free. Like, bro, of course I'm going to look at that and be like, nah, and I'm not the only one. I know I'm not. You know what I realized too, and I think it's very important, especially because I'm on social media, YouTube, TikTok, all of that. There's a lot of bots, and I don't know if they're paying people. I don't know what it is, but like I'm noticing there's a lot of fake accounts that are acting like what these people are saying are real. But trust me, like I know, like this, because I have conversations, like a lot of my family. I called my cousin yesterday. She's a Trump supporter. I wanted to get her take on it. She didn't even hear about it. I went on Fox News myself to see what they were saying about all this stuff. They don't even upload it. You know why? Because they know once the people see that, they're gonna ask questions. Their own people are gonna ask questions. But in the comment section, it's easy for people to be like, yeah, we doing it. Like, I mean, some people really are in love with the shit. But trust me, 9 times out of 10, dog, like a lot of the stuff, especially this stuff, the stuff when it comes to like, I don't know about the signal stuff. Like maybe people might, whatever. Like, but this other stuff, because nobody's getting money right now. That's the other thing too. Like it's dope when you can dangle a shiny object in front of somebody, but it's just like, you can't tell me you doing all of this and nothing's getting better yet. You know what I mean? Like people are talking about recessions. People like, bro, it's not happening. It's not happening. And they're panicking. I would panic. Like, think about it, bro, I'm not that smart. I know I'm not that smart. There's no way you can't, because you got to look at what they choose to panic over, what they choose to answer, what they choose not to answer, what their media choose to show. There's certain things you can't even spin. You know what I mean? It's just like Rubio. That was a poor attempt at spinning a question. And the thing is, it does more damage. It's not like it's left neutral. It's not like when Greene goes and disses a UK reporter, her supporters, like the real supporters, Trump supporters, are like, yeah, like some of them probably are like, yeah, you gave it to her. But the smart ones, I promise you, the smart ones are like, even if they're still in that camp, The smart ones are like, nah, that's not right. You know what I mean? Because those are the same people that was yelling about Hillary Clinton's email. Like, you would have to be like at that point, you wouldn't be real with yourself. You know what I mean? Like at some point, you gotta like look at yourself in the mirror. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't see that happening. But there's some people that are totally brainwashed. And you know what? I saw a comment earlier, and I want to speak to that too. Like, and I always say this, but you got to say it often as possible. Don't let your hate for one party make you love the other party. You understand? Like, you can just hate both parties like me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm comfortable here. I get to talk trash about both of them. You know what I mean? Because what I'm realizing is you think there's only two options. You know what I mean? Like, listen, just because one side is against the other side, listen, we the people. It's not like my enemy's enemy is my friend. Like, we all together on this. You know what I mean? In terms of like the people type shit. So it's just like, you can't be like, nah, bump that. I ain't going, like, I like, basically, like, you're blinded by party. You can't be blinded by party. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that, because it's just like, that's why I don't talk. Like, when I come on here, dog, I'm talking to everybody, because at the end of, and plus it's smart. Like, that's another thing too. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be so rigid in your stance, especially if you're a Democrat, because these guys are controlling everything. Like, they got the power, and that's what got a lot of Democrats in power. Like, we got to come together on a common ground. We don't got to agree on everything, but certain things, like this right here, like, for instance, Hillary Clinton's email. If that was a big deal to you, then this signal thing should be a big deal to you as well. And if it's not, you almost got to ask yourself, like, are you true to yourself at this point? Like, do you believe what you believe inside, or is it just like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it was nasty how she talks. You know what I mean? It's not like, people don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, trust me, bro. Like, think about it. Like, I don't know. Like you want to feel like, I want to feel like my politicians know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I want to feel like my politicians are on point. They have control of the situation. That's why you ever see when, like, excuse me. Actually, no, I shouldn't compare that, because it's not a gender thing. It's not a gender thing. But like people in leadership position, the last thing you want to be is emotional, because you're the leader. So if you over here getting emotional and rattled up, then the people behind you are emotional and rattled up too. If you're showing panic, then the people, like, trust me, like, dog, America, like, I refuse to believe that we're beyond saving, and that some people's IQ is like the most of the country's slow. I refuse to believe that. I be watching street interviews. People they don't know what the vice president's name is and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, people still know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And people are still interested in that. It's just like, I don't, especially vote. Like, I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know, dog. Like, Go USA. Exactly. See, I like that. Go USA. Not MAGA, not whatever. Go USA. Oh, and that actually reminds me too. You know, they do this thing where, like, Greene was asked about what about the group chat, right? And she talked about Biden. She brought up Biden. Like, the fact that, yeah, trust me, bro, MAGA's not that dumb, bro. I promise you. There's some smart people over there. You're not going to be able to be in power for a few months now. You have control of everything, and you're still blaming the previous administration. Like, your own people, dog. Trust me, because I'm not even like hardline Democrat. I'm over here like, nah, bro. Like, who's looking at this? Like, yeah, like, she gave it to him. Nah, bro. Why would you blame somebody that you beat already? You know what I mean? You know why? It's because, and that's a real lack of leadership. That's a real bad leadership quality. Like, a good leader will own up to what he did and tell you what he's going to do to change that. That's what a real leader does, bro. You know what I mean? That's what your people want to see. But somebody who's not a good leader, what they're gonna do is they're gonna find somebody else to blame, because what they're doing is that they're hoping that the slowest out of the bunch, which is unfortunately usually the loudest, they're hoping that they will rah the situation, and then it's almost like monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, these people, I'm telling you, the slowest people are the people with the bullhorns on, with the microphones on, the people that are the loudest. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, it makes you think that a bunch of that's kind of what messed up the actually. I don't want to get to that, but like it will make you think like everybody feels that way, and then you're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, I should get on board. You know what I mean? But like that works only to a certain point though. Like I don't think we're that bad yet to where like Rubio can be asked. Or no, the Rubio thing, you might be able to deceive somebody on that because and that's why it was important. Okay, let me address something real quick. Actually, this is a little bit of change of subject, but I see the comments of people saying, yo, that kid from Colombia, he didn't do a crime either. It's not what you think, it's what you can prove. You understand? Like, we're not arguing with each other. We're trying to make the argument for the others. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's important for her to stand alone. I don't say her name because, oh damn, food's ready. I don't say her name because I would butcher it or whatever. But I'm not trying to disrespect the old boy from Columbia University who's locked up. I'm just saying if you put them all in the same group, they're gonna group all of them with, it's like a RICO. You know what I mean? Like, you know what a RICO is? It's like the person who wasn't doing anything, who was just there. You know what I mean? He gets locked up too, but you gotta allow her to stand alone. You gotta allow her to be together because then you get to say, but what did she do? And when you can't answer that question, you panic like Marco Rubio did. And he looks like a fool. Now it's just like, yeah, you know, you're going to have regular Democrats who are going to go and be like, yeah, look, like, you know what I mean? Like, look, he's not answering the question. And then you're going to have people like me who is in the middle, who's like, oh, nah, he's not answering the question. And I'm positive there's a Trump supporter out there, or somebody who's hardline immigrant, like whatever, but they know what authoritarianism is and they're super scared of it. They too themselves will be like, he's not answering the question. So let them destroy themselves. Let them destroy themselves. And I said this before Trump won. I was like, it's not going to take, like, we're Americans. We always hate our politicians. You know what I mean? It's not going to take long. I didn't know that they was going to crash and burn like this. And like, you know what it is? It's all about controlling the narrative as well. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way they'll be able to get out. That's the only thing they'll be able to do. And that's why I be making these videos the way I be making, because I'm like, oh shit, the views is running up. People listening to me. Okay, let me tell y'all what I really want to tell y'all. The narrative can't be allowed to be set by them because they have a bias. You know what I mean? Us as the people need to keep the pressure on them. That's what I remember when I was saying that about Trump. I was like, I was giving y'all your props. I was like, yeah, man. Yo, listen, he did it. You know what I mean? This is like years from now. They're going to put this in the history book. No matter how much you love that man, you got to put the pressure on him now more than ever because he has nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Nothing to lose but your freedoms, your rights, and whatever he want to take from you to make his situation better. You know what I mean? Don't think people with power won't do that. There's never been a point in time when somebody said enough power, thank you. I've had enough. No way. Money and power, those are two things people can never get enough of. You know what I mean? These are the drugs that there's no rehab for. You understand? There's no rehab for that. So it's just like the only way to be able to make sure this country doesn't fall into the paths of Iraq and dog. On my life, if you guys watch my videos, I used to tell y'all, I don't think it's that bad. Y'all are going crazy. Bruh, after that chick got arrested, I'm on board now. You know what I mean? After I seen that, I'm like, all right, shit's crazy. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yo, like, you can't, you got to put the pressure on them. But this right here is like, now, and you know what's crazy? I could never support Trump. Now, I was telling somebody, I was having a debate with somebody, they don't like, we argue a lot because they're like, yo, how could you look at this? That she's a real hardcore, like, liberal left, bruh, like, we be going back and forth. But I said to her, I was like, because I remember that's what happened with the Democrats. Like, there's certain things that you could do where I could be like, oh no, I could never accept anything you bring to me. You know what I mean? Because once you start arresting people, for ways of thinking, for writing articles, for peacefully protesting, once people start getting locked up for that, I don't want to hear anything else. You know what I mean? You acting like you couldn't wait to do that when the economy. That's another thing. They're not that smart because I'm not that smart. And even I know that's not, even if I was trying to like push my limits of power, I would wait until the economy is good, or at least until housing is good. Like I would implement everything. Like that's how these other people did it. That's one thing. Like these people that like these authoritarian regimes, the way they got into power is actually a lot of them did bring economic benefit to the people at first. You know what I mean? The people pumped them up. That's why I was scared about Trump, because the people pumped them up. I was like, yeah, we eating, yeah, he doing this, he doing that. As soon as you pump them up to a certain level, then they turn on you. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, nah, bro. Like I see where this is going. You know what I mean? I see where this is going. I see it coming from a mile away. So it's just like, once I see you start doing things like that, it's just like, oh nah, I couldn't accept anything. Like the economy would have to be like freaking Dubai or whatever. Like I think that's the richest places on earth. I don't know, but like everybody, I'd have to be making hundreds of thousands, like damn near millions of dollars for me to be like shit. Like, and even then, I actually no, I'm the type of person that wouldn't, but I know like everybody has a price. You know what I mean? But the fact that you're doing all of this when you don't even have a good enough distraction for the people, dog, come on, bro. Like I don't even need to make videos and point it out, dog. Like people will point it out themselves. Like, look, I saw a video. It had 300,000 views. It was 2 hours long. I post a clip in my stories. Y'all follow, I be tapping on my stories. I be posting stuff on my stories. Literally 2 hours long. People saying they regret they voted for him. Like people don't gotta do anything. Let them crash and burn on their own. Like Shorty did the other day. Like she crashed and burned on her own. You're right. Other authoritarians have cunning skills. Trump has none. Exactly. That's thank you, Kevin. That's another thing. Like people think like Saddam Hussein, Duvalier, I don't know. I'm over here acting like I'm smart. I don't know all the names, but all 99% of these people, they brought prosperity to their country first. They had to hypnotize the country. They had to make them think like, yes, this man is gonna save us. And then they did what they did. Dog, Trump ain't smart enough to do that. Trump ain't, they blowing it already. They're blowing it already. That's why I'm like, so like, that's why people, don't worry. If he goes for a third term, I don't think he's gonna get the votes, bro. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. They blowing it up on themselves. Let them crash and burn. But now here's the thing, though. You know what I mean? Like, if there was a smart Democrat out there, they'd be able to capitalize on this. Like, not yet. It's not time yet. Even though it's kind of crazy, but just wait. There's gonna be a time. I promise you. We're in year 1, maybe year 2. There's going to be a time where it's just the approval rating is going to be just as low as Biden's. I promise you, mark my words. It's going to be just as low as Biden. People, unless the economy gets crazy. That's the only thing that will save them. If they can spin the narrative and direct everybody's attention to a positive thing that's going on. If they can't do that, it's a dub, bro. It's a dub. People are going to be losing their seats. People are going to be salivating at the mouth to get them out of power, just like they did with the Democrats. You know what I mean? With the Democrats, it was a different situation. But I don't really want to get into that. You know what I mean? If there was a smart Democrat out there, they'd be able to capitalize on a situation that's definitely going to happen a year from now if the economy don't get better or if housing doesn't get better. That's the only distractions people want. Because then it's just like, it's all negative news. Even your constituents are going to start asking, like, what's up? Even your own people are going to start asking what's up. Let them do it. You know what I mean? Like Democrat, like that's the other thing. Like y'all don't relax. Take a breather. You know what I mean? They wouldn't listen to you anyway. They got to listen to it coming from the inside. You know what I mean? Like, or somebody who's in the middle. You know what I mean? But they're not going to listen to a Democrat. Relax, take a breather, and just watch whatever happens, man. 2 months, it's been, that's okay. 2 months. It's been 2 months. Yes, it's been 2 months. That's a factory. No, it's not 2 months. January, we're in March right now. It's damn near 3 months or whatever. But still, very, very short. But what I'm saying is, in this 2 month time, I've seen a president do something that I've never seen him do in my life before. So if he can do all of that in 2 months, the average person is thinking, why can't, like, I thought he said on day one he was going to get the economy better. You know what I mean? I thought he said on day one things are going to happen. You know what I mean? He didn't say on day one he was going to start locking up students for writing articles. You understand? So it's like, yes, you're right, my friend. He said 2 months. He's only been in for 2 months. But what he has done in that 2 months isn't proportional. Like the negative that he has done in that 2 months is nowhere near proportional to the good stuff. So you can say 2 months, he's only been in for 2 months if like meaning like you could say 2 months meaning like yo he hasn't had enough time to make that much of an impact. But I'd say you're wrong. He's had plenty of time to make an impact in these other ways. You understand? And it's, yo, you know what else too I realized? Yo, we never even had beef with Canada or the UK. You know what I mean? So it's just like, wait a minute. It's only been 2 months, but so far you got us in a trade war. You know what I mean? So far, like things like you got us damn near in a recession. So far, you got us going back and forth doing all this with Israel. Like, so yeah, 2 months. He's done a lot in 2 months, none of which has been in his favor, my friend. Straight up and down. You know what I mean? And that's a factory. We're only going by what he said out of his mouth. Okay. He intends to be a dictator. That's what it looks like. But he could, like, I don't think that's happening. Because here's the thing. He's not smart. And I said this, I don't know if you was here. Even if his plan was to be a dictator, like there's a formula to that. They're not even following the right formula. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no prosperity yet. You know what I mean? Like things are slow, trust me. And you know what's crazy? Like I've been waiting too. It's funny, he said 2 months. How long should I wait before I can complain about the economy or my life? Everything I love. That's a real question. Whoever said 2 months, how long can I wait? Because I've been dying to make a video about how the economy almost damn near seems worse. You know what I mean? At least on my end right now. You know what I mean? But it's just like I haven't made it yet because I know somebody's going to be like, yo, it's only been 2 months. It's only been 3 months. So how long should I wait before I can complain? 6 months? A year? He said day one. Should I not believe him? Let me know what you think, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to like be you know what I mean? But it's real deal Holyfield. The evil ones behind him are threatening our freedom. They are more dangerous than him. Yo, you know what, blah? I agree with that. You know why? After the woman that got arrested opened my eyes to that. Because, yo, bro, I almost like somebody had to have paid for that, right? Because she wrote the article a year ago. You understand? That's number one. She wrote the article a year ago. She has a valid green card, and she was talking about Israel. She wasn't saying nothing about America. How can America, you got to think about this. Why would America take such a firm stance for Israel in America? A lot of people are saying, yo, why don't you go protest Palestine in Palestine? Okay, so I can use the same logic on you and say, why is America so concerned about somebody protesting about Palestine in America? You got to think about that. There's nothing like, if there was like, you see where I'm going with this? So it's just like, and if you don't, let me know, because I'll explain myself better. But it's just like why would they be so interested in her? Like, and like with the other kid, like I don't know about that situation. And respectfully, I don't mean to disrespect him. I never meant to disrespect him. But like with him, they said a narrative and it stuck. This is why you got to worry about the narrative. His narrative was, I guess he barricaded himself. And I'm not saying it's true or not. Don't get mad. But the narrative is he barricaded himself inside of a school. They was doing crime, whatever. I'm not saying it's right. But Shorty's narrative is not that. So it's just like you got to think to yourself, this has never happened before. Why would it happen on behalf of Israel? Like it would have been something if this happened on like a Proud Boy or BLM or a organization, Antifa, something. But you mean to tell me you did that for Israel? What's your motives? What is your motives? Because the other one we could say, okay, yeah, they was disrupting school, whatever, right or wrong. But what's your motive on her though? What's your motive on her? Does somebody pay you? Is like, are they running the government? And this is, and for the record, I don't even know why people hate Jews. Like, I don't think I can say that. I don't even know why. Like, I've never had a problem with them. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm not too good at history for that. But with all of this going on, it makes me think, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. Why? I've never seen America react like that for anybody else. I've never seen you guys do this for any other ally. You know what I mean? So it's just like, wait, what's going on? What is it that these people are saying? And that's real deal. That's real deal Holyfield. I swear to God, I don't know nothing about the people. People talk about this. I know history. Like, I know a little. I'm not going to play dumb. I know a little bit, but not enough to have a strong opinion. But when it comes to America getting involved in doing this on behalf of Israel, now you're forcing me to have a strong opinion and pick a side. And I want the side that allows me to have freedom. Like I said in the beginning of the live stream, if I was upset about them censoring stuff about Covizi, what makes you think I wouldn't be upset about you locking somebody up for an article? Come on, bro. Take a break, my boy. Hey, shout out to Dragon, man. I should take a break, right? My blood pressure's running up, man. Jesus said, keep your eyes on Israel. Listen, I don't want to get into that because I could, but I don't want to get into religion, because if we're really going to talk about it, like half the Bible isn't even there in the first place. But I don't want to. It's okay. We can move on, because APEC owns our political system. You know what I mean? So it's just like, see, it's funny, like when you say things like that, my bad, there's a bunch of people on motorcycles pull it up on me. When you say things like that, it's hard for me to say that's a conspiracy theory now. You know what I mean? Like at first, like I remember, first time I heard about APEC was during 9/11. They said they put bombs in the World Trade Center. And I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's just like, now I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I'm not the bombs thing, but it's just like, wait a minute. Like, what, who are these people? Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause something's wrong. There gotta be somebody, there's something going on. You know what I mean? So, I appreciate the follow. Yeah, follow me, please. Follow me, y'all. You know what I mean? I appreciate the love, man. Y'all keep on following. I'll come out here more. You know what I mean? What did happen on 9/11? That's a good question. That's a good question. Yo, there's a bunch of men with ski masks and masks. Well, there's a bunch of men with ski masks and scooters around me right now. So, and I don't got nothing to protect myself. So I'm a little nervous. Okay, they're going away now. I heard many stories. Yeah, I've heard many stories too, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened. To be honest with you, things look spooky. That's all I can say. I was a baby not a baby, but I was very, very young when it happened, man. But regardless though, man, you know, I appreciate the love. Y'all continue to follow me. Talking about Israel is not discussing. No. Wait, talking about Israel is not discussing religion. No, she said Jesus. She said Jesus wants us to think, but that's different. You know what I mean? I know Israel is different from that. I was in high school. Yeah, I was in middle school. I was a baby. I was in the 5th grade. My history teacher, I'll never forget it. My history teacher, he was like a Black Power person, and like he was always talking about conspiracy theory. He busted in the room, like, you know what they just did? I never, Mr. Gomes. Oh my God, Mr. Gomes. Anyway, I don't want to get off topic. Please follow me. I gotta go. These people are making me nervous. Follow me. I'll do some more lives and tap in, man. Let me know what you think about this down in the comment section, man. I'm out of here. Breathe easy, man. Peace out.